Jabari, specifically, I kind of wanted to ask you about your ball fake. 'Cause I
Mm.
know, I mean, it's been a big part of your game, obviously, but I think you probably got maybe 10 or 12 points just off of that move last game and kind of turned it into layups or free throws. I mean, has that always been a big part of your game, or is it something you've kind of developed over time?
I started developing it, started my freshman year, sophomore year. One of my teammates I played with high school, he used to do it pretty well. His name's John Walker. He plays for Texas Southern, but he used to do it very well, and he's like 6'9", 6'10". So I thought I'd add it to my game, and John just always created a habit of doing it after I seen him do it.
Yeah, I mean, how much is that something that you practice? And then not only that, obviously, but, turn it into either dribble drives or finding other guys and just kind of, it seems like it creates an opening for you to get in the lane because, I mean, it feels like you just sell it really well.
We do a lot of different drills that I can start using my shot fake in, like Texas shooting and things like that. But it's not really something I practice. It's something that comes off instinct. If I feel a guy is closing out too heavy or something like that, then I'll end up using it. But sometimes I do overuse it, and so I think it'll start getting scouted. So I need to start.
Yeah, I was actually going to ask. I was like, are you surprised that maybe you got? Because I feel like they kept falling for it every single
Yeah.
time. So I mean, were you maybe surprised that they didn't kind of start overplaying that move?
Yeah, it is. It is scouted. A lot of times it is, but I mean, like, I guess the way I use my shot fake is really just off a feel if you think I'm a shooter or not.
So you were the leading scorer last game, but it seems like every game the leading scorer kind of switches. What do you think that says about your balanced attack on offense?
I think it says we have a lot of good players, and we can get points from a lot of different guys in a lot of different positions on our team. But I don't think that's a big thing when it comes to us playing because I think we just go out there trying to do everything the right way, trying to make the best decisions for not only ourselves but for our teammates and for the team, and just being able to play defense and score off our defense.
I mean, I know at your last stop in New Mexico State, I think you probably started maybe all but a handful of games, if not more than that. How much of an adjustment, if it is an adjustment for you coming off the bench, does it just take maybe a different sort of mindset? Are you still kind of, adjusting to being the sixth man role?
I played every role. You could play in college. I've not played. I played a little bit, played six man, started. And so I honestly just don't try to think about that because when you do start to think about things like that, it's basically a you problem. You start to get in your own head. You start to make different difficult decisions on yourself by yourself. And so I feel like just playing the game and just making sure you don't give the coach a chance to say no, he's not playing or no, he's not doing this or anything like that. So just kind of make it hard on the coach when you do the right things every day, come to practice every day ready to play, come to games ready to play, and just taking a different type of approach rather than worrying about the amount of minutes you get. Worry about what you do when you do get in the game, and that's what I focus on.
Yeah, and then obviously, speaking of being ready, you'll have a huge game coming up Thursday against Creighton. What have you seen about them on the scouting report? What are some ways that they can kind of give other teams trouble?
They're a really good team. They're a really polished team when it comes to a fast break transition. They play really good defense, and they're just really good coached. I watched a couple games on them, and I think we're scouting them very well. And it'll be a tough game, but I think both teams are going to play hard, and it'll be a really fun battle.
You guys have called yourselves truth tellers in this program. It's still early, but to see yourself being discussed as the number one team in the country, now at number two, what does that do here? I mean, obviously still in November, but what does that mean to you guys here this early on?
It doesn't change nothing. We're approaching practice the same way. We're trying to get better every game. It's not about rankings at this point. At this point, it's about getting our team better and getting every individual player better every day. And so I think that's probably like icing on the cake to things that we have to do. But I think we still have a whole lot of work to do individually and as a team.
Yeah, just excitement for, you guys have faced some really good teams so far, but looking ahead, you've got a couple of ranked teams in front of you with number 7 team in the country coming in. Just kind of excitement for what these games are going to let you guys do down the line, getting a couple really good teams on your slate here.
Yeah, it's exciting. It'll prepare us for later on down the road, especially when you start getting into March and playing good teams back to back. And so I think having the schedule that we do and Coach Terry putting together the schedule that he did, I think it benefits us in a big way. And I think it's also very challenging and puts a big target on our back. And so I feel like with that being said, we just need to keep coming to work every day and keep preparing for any team that we play.
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned it earlier. Obviously, you guys are off to a good start, winning every game. But I think it's been at least 15 points every win, but not being content, in the start. What are some of the things that, Coach Beard or yourself personally maybe want to work on, these next coming weeks before conference play really ramps up?
There's still a lot of deficiencies in our defense and different guys making mistakes on defense, so that can always be cleaned up. We have a big problem with turnovers, and so the more we can clean that up, the better we'll get. We're not shooting the ball very well from three right now, but we are putting in the work to shoot the ball very well at the three, and everybody's very confident that we will start shooting the ball well. We have a couple guys that haven't just had their best games yet, but it's coming. Even the next game it might be. So I think everybody's just sticking together and staying with the process. Like the secrets in the dirt, seriously. Like you just need to stay with the process every day, and I think that's what Coach Beard is like bleeding into us.
Obviously you guys kind of want to be focused on yourself, but obviously the rest of the Big 12's had a really good start too. You have Iowa State taking down UNC. Kansas is Kansas, Baylor. It's really not a bad team in the league. How much, if at all, are you kind of paying attention to what the rest of the teams in the league are doing right now?
Yeah, we watch those scores every day. Coach Beard will show us different upsets and different things like that. But ultimately, you got to focus on yourself and focus on winning the next game yourself. But those are all really good teams. We obviously know Big 12 is one of the best conferences in the country. So congrats to those teams, and I hope we keep rooting for them. Hope they keep winning up until conference, and then we get a chance to get to see those teams ourselves twice. So that'll be pretty fun.
I know we've asked you a lot about, your relationship with Chris Beard and what kind of brought you here, but I'm curious, what's it been like working with Rodney Terry? He's a guy that's obviously been around, he knows the landscape. What have you kind of learned from him and just kind of getting to know him? What's that been like?
He's a great dude. He's a defensive whiz. He's always been a fiery coach. I played against him, 4 times. I was at New Mexico State, and we always played a little I-10 battle, and he was at UTEP. So I played against him 4 times, and I always knew what type of coach he was. He's a fiery, emotional dude like that, and that's the type of guy I am. That's why we always kind of went at it when we played against each other, and I always had respect for Coach Terry. And so just being able to play for him now is kind of different because who would have thought, you know what I mean, New Mexico State, UTEP, and now I'm playing for Coach Terry. And so, but he's taught me a lot of things on defense, taught me how to be consistent on defense, different little things, when to help, when not to help, and how like just a little extra step will help you be in the right position, and different, just little things. But he's a defensive genius. He's a great coach, a great dude, besides being a coach, and I like playing for Coach Terry.